Everybody needs a little beacon like a fire in the night. So I'm working on believing that it could be me, that I could be the light. I'm not afraid, I am unbreakable. I'm not afraid, I am unshakable. I'm not afraid to be the light. La Yehudim hayta ora, La Yehudim hayta ora, v'simcha v'sason b'ikar. Yai nai 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 nai, 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 Yai nai 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 nai. I know that you're with me, I can feel you in the corner of my mind. So I'm taking what you're giving and I'm using it to help me be the light. I'm not afraid, I am unbreakable. I'm not afraid, I am unshakable. I'm not afraid to be the light. So from now on, I'll give the best of me. Yesterday's gone, a new one's ahead of me. So from now on, I'll be the light. La Yehudim hayta ora, La Yehudim hayta ora, v'simcha v'sason b'ikar. Yai nai 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 nai, 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 Yai nai 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 nai, Yai nai 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 nai.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful to have you here with us. I understand we have a high holiday-esque parking problem, that we've run out of spaces, so you're going to see people coming in throughout the service. What a wonderful way to celebrate not only Shabbat, but the hard-earned retirement of our beloved Executive Director, Leslie Hoffman. I'm so glad that you can be here with us this evening as we get a chance to celebrate. We do so with a sense of joy because it is Shabbat. We do so because we're dreaming of the day of our retirement. No, wait. We do so because it is a blessing to be here with Leslie. We do so knowing that these have been heavy weeks that we hold in our heart. And while we can't shut out, and we shouldn't shut out the world in which we live, we can allow the joy of Shabbat to begin to replace it, at least for the time we are together. The melodies we've chosen to begin our service are particularly upbeat, and we hope you'll join us in the spirit of celebration. The words are on page 10 in your prayer book, or up on the screens in front of you.
How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
When the decision was made for members of our board and members of our staff to wear running shoes, I didn't realize that it was going to be because we all had to be carrying in extra chairs. I thought it was just a way of honoring Leslie, but it turns out to be a twofer in all of the best ways. I can't ask her to light candles when she's running the technology, when she's interfacing with our security team, when she is greeting each of you. But now that you're retired, come on up here. Would you lead us in the kindling of the lights of Shabbat? These words can be found in the prayer book underneath your seat on page 2.
This is the only thing I've never done.
I believe it. You've never had the chance. Day drinking, for walks, taking naps.
Not bad for a first timer.
vacations.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 5 in our prayer book, welcoming the sweetness of Shabbat through our Shabbat evening Kiddush. If it is comfortable for you to do so, and not only so we can sneak behind you, we invite you to rise on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadisho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodesh
welcome to be seated. As we continue with the upbeat melodies to welcome Shabbat, we turn to the very, very bottom of page 14 for words from Psalm 97. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in God and exclaim God's holy name. Continue in our Sidurim, we continue in our prayer books on page 20 with words of Lecha Dodi, welcoming Shabbat into our midst. Though the sun has set, I hope you were able to see the beautiful sunset this evening. When we get to the final stanza, we rise as our ancestors did, eager to embrace Shabbat, turning our attention to the door, hopefully not causing too much unintentional embarrassment to those who couldn't find a parking spot. It's a great problem to have, pages 20 and 21.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, penei לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
You're up anyway. You might as well take this opportunity to turn one to another, to greet your neighbor, to wish them a Shabbat Shalom. All right, friends. During the oneg, there will be plenty more opportunities, I promise. We invite you to find your seats as we continue on page 24. On page 24, continuing our welcoming with words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzechem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Can we read together on the bottom of page 27? Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayeichon v'yameichon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizeman kariv. Ve'yimeru amen. Yesh mei Rabbah bevorach. Le'olam olam me'amaya.
Har vitrama vitnasei, vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shemer kodesham richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'allah, ve'yimeru amen.
Our Baruch Hu praise found on page 28 gives us another opportunity to stand, to stretch our legs, to lift our voices, to enter into prayer to God. Would you join us now on the top of page 31? Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides a sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. And on the bottom of page 33, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, pages 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael.
Welcome to be seated as we continue on the following page.
ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
In preparation for our Mi Chamocha praise, would you join us in the English on page 41? Sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Our service continues on page 42, or with the English words that can be found on the screen before you. And as we have done in the Shabbatot since October 7th, we use this section of our prayer, this section of praise, asking for God's shelter of peace to be spread over us and indeed this world, to offer our prayers for the state of Israel, for those who have been taken captive, and for those who fight for their defense and return. We begin on page 42 with our Hashkivenu praise, asking for God's shelter of peace and protection. From the poetry of Alden Solovey, one day the court of the captives will convene before the halls of power. They will bring their torment and suffering as evidence against us, as evidence of our failure to protect them, of evidence of our failure to redeem them with speed and with urgency. On that day, the court of the innocent at the gates of heaven will join the chorus. The newly murdered, babies and dreamers, parents and children, bringing their blood as evidence against us, as evidence of our failure to protect them, as evidence of our failure to secure our land and our people. On that day, the court of the captives and the court of the innocent will minister to each other at the gates of righteousness, both in heaven and on earth, offering torn cloth soaked in tears to bind their wounds, to bless the living, and to console the lost. Today, yes, today, the court of the captives and the court of the innocent in heaven convene, arraying the charges before us, and wait, still wait, for us to answer. We continue with a prayer for the state of Israel, found on page 259 in our prayer books. On the bottom of that page, O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. For our co-religionists, our friends and family in Israel, for each of us in this country who are holding a heightened sense of anxiety during this fraught time, we share these words of song with which we have been beginning our service. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar ma'od. The whole world feels as if it is a very narrow bridge. The most important part we're taught is not to be afraid.
מאוד כל העולם גשר צר כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד כל העולם גשר צר מאוד כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד כל העולם גשר צר כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד כל העולם גשר והעיקר לא לפחד לא לפחד והעיקר לא לפחד לא לפחד. As I walk along this very narrow bridge, I will not be afraid, knowing you are with me. As I walk along this very narrow bridge, I will not fear, knowing you are near. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, לא לפחד. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, לא לפחד.
It is a challenging time, and we hold so much and so many in our hearts this evening. If you've ever had the experience of answering telephones as part of your job, you know that one of the first things they train you to do before you pick up that phone is to smile. People on the other end can hear it, even if you don't feel it, they can still hear it. So too it is with the transition we make back to our Shabbat prayers. It is abrupt to go from the sadness and fear that we hold back into the joyous melodies of Shabbat. And yet, rather than ease our way in, Cantor Calix and I decided to dive into the deep end to help us reclaim that sense of joy that Shabbat can provide. We need those moments of joy. Hold on to those moments of joy. At times, you just have to smile, even if you don't feel like it. We're on page 44.
תורתם ברית העולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית העולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש
page 47 as we prepare for our Amidah. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We continue on pages 46 and following with our Amidah. If it is comfortable for you to do so, we invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Behanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayei Memunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidam Melach, Melech Meimit, Umechayei, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We invite you to be seated as we turn in our prayer books to page 60, there finding words of Shalom Rav, our evening prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav
We turn in our prayer book to page 253. There finding words of Misha Berach Lecholim, our prayer asking for God's presence, asking for healing for those who are ill. In a room of so many, I am worried that I might inadvertently miss one who wants to share a name, whose face or whose hands I cannot see. So instead of making my way around the room, I would simply invite you at this time to call to mind, to share aloud all at once, if you so choose to do so, those you are thinking of in need for our prayers of healing this evening. I would invite you to do so at this time. We hold all of them in our hearts as we ask for a complete and speedy healing of mind, of body, of spirit. Page 253. Having welcomed Cantor Calyx into this community, it seems only fitting that we might begin our words of tribute and gratitude to Leslie Hoffman in song. It's a pretty familiar melody. I hope you might join us.
When you're down and troubled, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know I'll come running, oh yes I will, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there, yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking on your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am,
It's going to be that kind of night. It's an honor at this time to invite forward Congregational President Michelle Markowitz.
If you're joining us for this Shabbat, and there are so many of you joining us for this Shabbat, or if you've joined us for any Shabbat over the last 9 years, you probably already have at least an inkling of the impact Leslie has had on our community. She didn't know it back in January of 2015. And to be fair, it's probably a good thing she didn't know it back in January of 2015. But when we welcomed her, she was going to become the singular source of stability and continuity over a period where temple life, synagogue life, Jewish life experienced dramatic changes. When Leslie joined us, Temple was enjoying over 3 decades of leadership of then Senior Rabbi, now Rabbi Emeritus Mark Mahler. And it was Leslie's steady hand and compassion that guided us through not one, but 2 senior rabbinic transitions. First to interim Rabbi Don Rossoff, and then again to Senior Rabbi Aaron Meyer. When Leslie joined us, synagogue security and physical safety in this building were certainly on her radar screen. After the tragic events of October 27, 2018, it was Leslie who led the unfortunate but necessary transition to a world where synagogue security and the safety of our community never could be far from her mind. When Leslie joined us, Temple Emmanuel had never streamed a service. Most of us had never heard of the term social distancing, and few of us even knew what a coronavirus was. All of that changed literally overnight in March of 2020. It was Leslie's calm and collected leadership style, good judgment, and financial savvy that guided us through the many phases of a worldwide pandemic. As someone who had the pleasure of being on the board at the time of Leslie's hiring, I can pat myself on the back with the knowledge that we made one of the wisest decisions a Temple board has ever made. And I know for certain we'd do it again. I don't know if she would do it again, but we certainly would, and we are so glad she did. On behalf of a grateful board, we wanted to honor Leslie with some gifts that represent both who she is now and how much she means to us. So you gotta come up here for this part. You can bring your tissues if you want. All right. I know. Leslie, we hope you use these new Shabbat candlesticks for a Shabbat you finally get to spend at home.
What a concept.
Let's see, I don't want to.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Thank you.
Let's see, we have another one. We hope you can wear this beautiful necklace when you and David finally get to go out a night on the town. And finally, last but not least, we got you a gift card to Fleet Feet so you can get all the running gear you need. And on that running note, and you might notice a few of us are wearing running shoes tonight, I wouldn't be doing my job as Temple President if I didn't remind all of you to honor Leslie with a donation to Temple as we go the distance with our Giving Tuesday fundraiser in honor of this remarkable person. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to be seated for a moment. Yeah, I'm going to stare out the door to try to make it through this one. Although I'd point out you're running out of excuses not to run Pittsburgh with Steph and I. I love it. In the weeks leading up to this very evening, I have heard by text, by phone call, by email, by people coming into the office to cry with me, that you, Leslie Hoffman, have been the glue that has held this place together. Through times of clergy and staff transition, at literally any hour of the day and any day of the week, you were the constant, the glue that maintained relationships and wore the many hats of temple work. I certainly don't disagree with that assessment, and I hope that people are as willing to share with you as they were with me the ways in which you have touched their lives. But I would propose a friendly amendment to that imagery. You, my friend, are less the glue than the duct tape. When things are going down around here, sewage pumps breaking, freezers failing, pipes bursting, asbestos everywhere, bam, duct tape. Leslie. When relationships frayed because of something that I did, bam, Leslie, duct tape. When members of the staff team were having a bad day and needed a shoulder to cry on or a listening ear, Leslie's duct tape. When a freaking global pandemic interrupted your onboarding process and trying to teach the ropes of being a senior rabbi to the new kid, tall, handsome, and scholarly though he was, bam, Leslie duct tape. God knows that some things around here needed a little more of that duct tape than others, and then a couple extra rolls on top of that. And you did it all with good humor, with kindness, with genuine concern for the Jewish people. Though you are too humble and generous to fully be able to internalize these words, Temple would not be what it is this day without your tireless, selfless contributions. As Michelle said, neither of us are in an enviable position this evening. If I continue to express how important your contributions have been to Temple, or to me personally, everyone here knows what a wreck I would be. And the amazing staff team here would be reduced to marinating in our own tears. If I told the stories of our times working together, everyone would be laughing until there were tears, and I'd probably be looking for a new congregation on Monday morning. I suppose we could both take walks with Mac at that point, but it's not exactly what I have in mind. Leslie, thank you. Thank you for everything you have done for this community. Thank you for everything you have done for me. At this point, I'm going to do the least rabbinic thing imaginable, and I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead. In doing so, I hope to create the space for others to share their words of gratitude and appreciation at the oneg immediately following this service. And Leslie, in addition to the very thoughtful gifts from Temple's board and the congregation, your staff team has a couple of gifts we would like to present as well. Kate, Steph, Alan, would you join me?
You have to come up.
You have to come up.
Yeah.
We have so many things to thank Leslie for as members as staff, congregation, and friends. You have been our partner and our champion for our programs. You are always there to lend a listening ear, a helping hand, and a shoulder to cry on.
This bag was created by children at Torah Center and ECDC. Just as they've left fingerprints on this tote, you have left a lasting imprint. Sneaker prints on our hearts.
You shouldn't have made me laugh.
Oh, sorry. we love you. I can't mean it. We're so grateful for all you've done for our temple community.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You have to open all of it, though. I
No,
mean, you just, yeah.
Not now. You want me to?
Oh, you might as well just leave it set up there for 1 second.
Okay.
Thank you all. We're also hoping that when Mac eats his way through all of the treats in this bag, that it might serve as a wonderful carry-on. In the countless hours you have given to Temple, there was less of a chance to get to travel yourself. And we hope that this gift can help you, and maybe David, but that's up to you.
I'll take Mac. Mac's my dog, if anyone's wondering. My granddog, but he's my dog. It's all about Mac.
Whether you take David or Mac and Mac, whether you send them and you get to sit, entirely up to you. But I hope it is an opportunity to reclaim some of the time that you shared with this community. Truly, you have been a blessing in the lives of so many. And I would love to invite everyone who is here with us this evening to help Cantor Calix and I offer you a word of blessing. Could I invite everyone to rise at this time? Cantor Calix is going to offer us the Hebrew, and together we might all join in the English as the community that embraces and has been embraced by Leslie.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Together, may God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May the light of God shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God be with you on this new journey and bless you as you have blessed us with the gift of peace. You're welcome to be seated.
Rebuttal. There's really not much left for me to say because a lot of it has been said, but I wrote it, so I'm going to read it, and I'm not going to cry. So many of you have probably heard me say that no one has ever complained that a service was too short. So in that spirit, I'll just say a few words. Where do you envision yourself in 5 years or 10 years? We've all had to answer that dreaded interview question, right? Well, I can honestly say that being a synagogue executive director was never my answer. But as I look back now, it almost feels like it was somehow my destiny. From my early career in banking, where I honed my operations, management, and financial skills, to my first 24/7 job as a stay-at-home mom to twins, to re-entering the workforce as a nonprofit manager, I was unwittingly preparing myself for this role, even as I had no idea, as Michelle said, what this job would truly entail when I accepted the position. Having grown up in and then married into a family where synagogue affiliation was simply a given, finding myself in the position to lead Temple Emmanuel and to ensure that it will be here as a thriving community for your families has been an honor and a privilege. I can't help but think about how my proud parents and in-laws would be kvelling tonight. May their memories be a blessing always. Speaking of family, I want to take a moment to thank David and Eric and Phil for giving me the space to put so much of myself and my time into this job and community over the past 9 years. Your support has been unwavering, and I love you. And David, I know that you are as excited as me to not be awakened by calls from Vector in the middle of the night when the burglar and fire alarms go off. I also want to thank my family and friends who are here tonight, including my sister Renee, Bernice and Dan, and my Squirrel Hill cousins, and also those who have joined us online, including my brother Harold. They say it takes a village, and you have all been here to support and encourage me through the highs and lows and everything in between. I am truly blessed to have all of you in my life. I've been fortunate to have an amazing vendor, staff, lay leadership, and clergy partnerships during my tenure. Together, we've navigated clergy transitions, the indelible impact of the Tree of Life massacre, a worldwide pandemic, and the everyday challenges of keeping a synagogue running. Within moments on Saturday, October 27th, 2018, as Michelle said, security became the overarching focus of my responsibilities. I so value the relationship that we share with the Mount Lebanon Police Department and Chief Haberman. Working with the Jewish Federation of Pittsburgh and Synaptic Systems, we've installed new monitoring systems in our building. Thank you to Rich Mader, who is here tonight and comes up as Blue Point Rich in my phone contacts. You are a valued partner and a friend on this journey. I also brought in the Executive Defense Security Team, and we are now blessed to have our security guard, Joe, with us here, who is a true friend and cares so deeply about the safety of our community. I've said many times that we have the best staff team of any synagogue, and that is no exaggeration. Thank you to Kate Lewick, Steph McFerrin, Ellen Druck, Sarah Mangan, Paula Spock, Lori Blattner, Melinda Freed, Steve Harms, and Chuck Tranter for being amazing co-workers and for now welcoming Marley Lyons so warmly to the team. Together, we've all embraced the other duties as assigned philosophy to get things done, and for that I will always be grateful. Thank you also to Rabbi Mahler, Rabbi Rossoff, Rabbi Locketts, Iris Harlan, Barb Murawski, Linda Frankel, and Linda Komet. I so value the time that we spent working together during your time at Temple. It's not often that you become friends with your boss, but I can say that I hit the jackpot 3 times with the opportunity to work with and for 3 wonderful synagogue presidents. Dan Rathschild, David Weisberg, Michelle Markowitz, thank you for your guidance, patience, and friendship. Your devotion to Temple is unparalleled. I also want to thank everyone who has served on the board and committees and chaired programs and events over the years. It truly does take a village, and I so appreciate all of you who volunteer to keep Temple thriving. Cantor Calix, that I am standing here tonight on the bima with Temple's very own ordained cantor is nothing short of amazing. While our time together has been brief, I look forward to all that you will bring to the congregation in the years to come. And Rabbi Meyer, Aaron, it occurred to me that it was exactly 5 years ago this weekend that you came to Pittsburgh for your interview. To be honest, I don't remember much about our first conversation, as I was barely functioning after a week of grief, very little sleep, and a whole lot of Diet Coke. But I do recall your empathy for our community then, and it has been an honor to learn from and work alongside you as we've navigated the last 4 very eventful years together. I don't doubt that it's our shared snarky sense of humor that has gotten us through some tough moments. And those are the stories we aren't going to share. While there is so much more that I could say, I will forever be grateful for having had the opportunity to be your partner in leading Temple. Thank you all for becoming my Temple family. I am so honored to have shared in your simchas and sorrows. At the end of the day, and certainly now more than ever, I am humbled to have helped shape our vital, inclusive, and supporting community for all. I'll end with the same words that I spoke at the annual meeting. Chazak, chazak, v'nichazek. From strength to strength, may we be strengthened. With change comes growth, and with growth comes strength. I leave with 100% confidence that with the strength of this amazing community, Temple will continue to thrive and forge new pathways for living, learning, and leading Judaism. Thank you all.
I'm trusting that Kate and Steph are going to activate now the air tag they sewed into that bag, so you're really not leaving. You can't leave. Thank you. Friends, we turn back in our prayer book as we conclude our service, as we prepare to make our way to the Oneg for the chance to congratulate Leslie and share the many stories we have. We continue on page 282. Page 282, rising when you have found your page, that we might join together in prayer.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula le'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Eileen Isco forward to share a reading in advance of Kaddish. I would invite everyone to be seated.
Page 289, reading number 3. If you'll join me, please. The light of life
is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, the substance is consumed, it is no more.
In
Light we see, in light we are seen, the flames dance, and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames, we see no more, and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. Thank you for leading us as you remember. And indeed, as a congregational community, we do remember as we prepare for words of Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's prayer, on page 294, we remember those who have gone before us. We remember one for whom we are in a period of Shloshim, Carol Elaine Rose. And we mark the yahrzeit of Yetta Friedman Amper, Ida Boehm, Rose Barish, Edith Baskin, Mary Patricia Bittner, Ada Blaine, Mary Blockstein, Edward Bolner, Bessie Budin, Violet Sepikoff, Thelma Cobbett, Albert Davis, Betty Diskin, Wilfred Ehrenrich, Wilma Evans, Jeanette Feldman, Meyer Gewers, Jeannie P. Glasspool, Marilyn Verk Goldstein, Milton L. Goldstein, Estelle Gorin, Dr. Hugo Hauser, Edward Hopkins, Thelma Korenberg, Ria Kozoff, Lois Crash, William Larish, Enid Lesser, Harold Lesser, Sam Leventhal, Frida Liss, William Nobby McNabb Sr., Marvin Mitosky, Lou Mitchell, Robert Pomerantz, Charles Presser, Benjamin Protis, Pauline Ringelheim, Eva Rinsler, Robert Rosecrans, Ernest B. Rosen, Leon Rosenberg, Samuel Rothus, Gail Rive, Harry Seltzer, Pauline Schiffman, Samuel Schulman, Bernice Ziegler, Dr. Samuel Lewis Silver, Morton Simons, Alice Sperling, David Spitzer, Francis Trachtenberg, Irving Wexler, Lawrence I. Weisskopf, and Julia Zubroff. If there are others whom you are remembering at this time, or if I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of a loved one, I would invite you to share their names aloud. Yehei zichronam livracha. May the memory of all of our loved ones be for us an everlasting blessing. We continue affirming words on page 294, and I would invite you to rise as you are able in sympathy and in support of those who remember and those who mourn. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam v'lamei almaya. Yit varach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav huyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who makes peace in the highest of heavens, make peace for us and for all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. You are welcome to be seated. Let us conclude our service in song this evening on page 341, recognizing the blessing that transition can bring in our lives. Page 341.
Place you do not know. Lech ilach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lech ilach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lech ilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for a nosh and a chance to congratulate Leslie.